Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5, episode 12. We got the Eagles Ravens preview. We got the playoff big board here. We got sleepers for playoffs, some predictions. Cam Newton dressed like a pimp, Bears firing their coach, and a whole bunch of Thanksgiving big games to talk about. Dre, let's hit it. What up, fellas? What's
up, everybody?
going
Hey, what's going on?
on?
You know what's going on. We're going to shut down them Ravens.
You got the Ravens today, big game,
In the cold.
in the
Cold
cold.
down this way. It's in the 20s down here.
Two top backs going at each other. Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's
This is
going to be
fun.
Yeah. I mean, the winner of this one is going to have some bragging rights for sure. That's yeah. And Mike's boys are up in the freezer today in the 2 feet of snow. So
Oh my God. Yes, they're getting
Well,
buried.
You might as well put them on the shelf in the freezer because make sure you got your baking soda, in there because
You see, I still got the reef behind me, right?
I see that, man. I mean, they pretty much freezer burn. So
yeah.
After tonight, I'll change the background to Saturn because that's what I'm going to be dreaming of the rest of this season.
Yeah. What
Let's
up, have
yeah, you drinking already? All right.
Yeah. So am I, Hef.
Appreciate
I sat Daniels this week, Hef. Sorry, dude. He's on the bench for Stroud this week. So,
I appreciate it, man. The best show.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. So we'll see what happens with your Commanders today. They got Tennessee. We'll see what happens with the Titans today. But yeah, lots of good stuff going on, guys. Real quick, we got a lot to show today. Jermaine, of course, being a little baby, he's like, no, I'm tired. He's traveling from the holidays. So Jermaine is out today, sad to say. He was crying this morning. So we'll catch up with Jermaine another time. But if you guys want to put in some things from enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com and harass him a little bit, feel free to do that. So, but enough said on that. Let's start, guys. Any surprise from any of the Thanksgiving games?
Well, the way that the Bears and Lions ended, because I walked away from it. I texted you guys. I was like, man, I had to go say grace at the table. And then I come back, and then I'm thinking that the Bears are going to kick a field goal and at least tie it, or something happened. But then I come back, and the game is over. I'm like, what happened? And people were sitting there texting, and people online just kind of like, this is, disgraceful. This is, coaching malpractice. This guy needs to be fired on the spot. I'm like, what happened? And I saw the last 30 seconds and said, oh, my God, how could you be so bad? Like, that was terrible. Like, it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable.
Yeah, I didn't see too much. I was hosting and cooking, so I glanced up there a little bit, and I was like, "Wow, Detroit!" At the first, like, I don't know, second quarter, so they was smoking them. But the Green Bay game, Miami, I did see that one, and Miami's horrible. They're horrible. That's just plain and simple to tell you that. And you know what's interesting too? The clock management is Tua's responsibility. If you think about it, it is his responsibility, and they're bad at that. I mean, they had so many penalties that amongst themselves that just screwed them up.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they had flashes where they could also, come right back in the game. Green Bay did do their job and shut down Achane a little bit. I mean, Achane was a little bit better in the air, but that Miami Green Bay game, I just was like, whatever. And then what was the other one? Dallas.
Well,
Dallas.
Dallas game was like, and then the other game that was surprising to me, the Chiefs game. I mean, it was so funny because I sent them text messages out to everybody. I said, man, this looks familiar. This looks like that game where the Raiders had the Chiefs dead to rights, and then somehow they had they messed it up.
Mhm.
And literally, as soon as I hit the send button, the dude snaps the ball when the quarterback's not looking, and they fumble. And I said, "You got to be kidding me! How can that happen?
Yeah.
How, in this day and age, this late in the season, professionals, and y'all messed that up? All you got to do is just wait." I could not believe that. I mean, Antonio Pierce looked so mad.
Yeah.
He was just like, "You gotta be freaking kidding me." I mean, they had him. I mean, I'm saying the guy would have made the field goal because it was a long field goal from that spot,
Right.
and he missed like 3 of them already. So I mean, there's a chance they still would have lost, but to not even get a chance to kick the ball, I was just wow. Man, the Chiefs are so lucky this year, man.
They are.
It kind of hits, to pick with you guys, but it sounds like last year when the Eagles were winning and everyone kept saying, man, they're winning, but it's like they get so lucky, it's like you just feel like it's going to fall apart. And the Chiefs, the Lux has got to run out. I'm not sure who's going to beat them or when it's going to happen, but you just got the feeling like it ain't going to be this year.
It's probably the playoffs, honestly.
Playoffs
going to happen.
Could be.
When they actually play some real teams. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, of course, the people are crying that the refs bailed them out again, and they may have, but who knows, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Hef when you were chatting, man. They look a little suspect, man. Like it was just, it's too convenient that happened that way. Like everyone's just watching that game, like this is it. The Chiefs are going down again. This is perfect. And then how does the guy mess up the snap? Like this is, someone made the call, and then the refs were doing their whole deal. Like it called it illegal formation, because even then it was just something weird about it. Like they threw the flag, so it's like, what was the flag for? And they just like, well, false start. That would kept the Raiders had the ball. Then they got moved back 5 yards. Then they said, no, let's change it to illegal formation. That way the play can actually happen. So then the Chiefs can recover the fumble. I was just like, yeah, it's suspect.
Yeah, you got a point there, Hef. It kind of reminds me, go back when Pittsburgh Steelers went they like the 6th seed or something like that, and they won it. They won the Super Bowl. I remember. Well,
Ravens did it to my team, but they did it too. They were, they had to go on the road 3 games in a row.
Yeah, I know the Ravens are under, their wild card right now. So yeah. It could be possible the 6th seed or 7th seed could win the Super Bowl.
Sacrifice Taylor Swift to the football gods. Something's going on.
Sacrifice, there's some black magic going somewhere there. There's something voodoo doll or something. I don't know.
Yeah, voodoo doll, right.
And sorry, Hef says Daniel should play. Don't jump off yet. I'm not ready to let go of the coat. Not going to start the coat today. Sorry, man. I got to give him his day off. We'll see. I'm not saying I won't start him next week, but he's not playing next week. He's got a bye week, but maybe the week after. We'll see. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see. A lot of the game of the week obviously is the Eagles Ravens. I mean, unless you think that the Bills and 49ers, I just think it's going to be tough. I mean, all that snow. I mean, how much is? And they're saying it might not even be done by then. Who knows? Game time, what that field is going to look like. It's going to help the run game. And the question is, in that game, who's got the better run game? It might be the 49ers, but the Bills got Cook, you got McCaffrey, and, I think it's going to come down to the run game. Mike's like shaking his head no, but
nope. I've seen enough this year. It's going to come down to offensive line, defensive line, and San Francisco's is suspect at both. And no matter what kind of run game you got, pass game you got, defense.
It don't matter if nobody can get their footing. Nobody's going to be able to get their footing out there.
The Niners defense with Big Nate Bosa was still ranked towards the bottom of the league in pass rush, and without him, they are like second to the bottom. So he's not. He's out again today. So they got nothing for Josh Allen. He can do whatever he wants. And on the offensive line, Trent Williams is out. Aaron Banks is out. So you got 2 guys getting swapped already. The offensive line was already struggling to make blocks with those guys. I don't see it. I mean, unless they find some inner strength, some, I don't know, anime fighting super, find your ability, powers, whatever. Unless they got something up the sleeve like that, they just look old and slow, man. They look like a team that just overnight just became a shell of themselves from last year. That's a Super Bowl hangover, I guess, and they ain't waking up from it.
Warner's hurt. Yeah, and Warner's hurt, which doesn't help.
Warner, I mean, he's gutting it out, but I mean, that's great that he's gutting it out with a fractured ankle, but it's slowing them up too. And you can see it. There were certain plays that you saw where people was like, man, Frank Gore will always make that tackle, and he wouldn't make the tackle. And it's like, now you're finding out he can't do it because he just can't do it. So I mean, it's just, I keep saying history keeps repeating itself. It's like the Niners lost Super Bowl 4 years ago. Then the year after they struggled, then all of a sudden they had 3 great years of being very good. And then I don't know. I swear to God, I feel like we're in a loop. It's hard because everything is happening exactly how it happened 4 years ago. I swear.
John Lynch,
it's crazy. So I don't know. This is a down year.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the Eagles Ravens. That obviously is the big one today. We'll get into actually, you know what? We'll get into those predictions. Right now we might as well do a couple of the games and then we'll get into the big board.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go into some of the other games. Let's start with the Eagles Ravens today. Since that's the big one. God, guys, this is like a toss up, man. This is hard. I mean, the game's obviously in Baltimore. A lot of good matchups. I mean, are Eagles going to keep Lamar kind of streamlined in that pocket? Are they going to try to kind of harness him in with a spy maybe? I don't know. They can definitely stop the run, I think. I think the Eagles can clog up the middle enough. I don't know. Or it could be their pass defense. Is Vic Fangio going to go with those cornerbacks he's got who have been very good this year? I mean, Dijon is one of the top guys in the league this year. And so is Mitchell. So do they just roll with those 2 guys and then put 8 in the box and just try to stop Henry? I don't know. And then you got Andrews over the middle. Maybe you got some linebackers now. You put Braun on him. Eagles could match up against them. I don't know if the Ravens defense can match up against, Antonio Brown, and we might get Jackson back. Not Jackson today. What's his name? Back today.
Devontae Smith.
Thank you. Devontae Smith. Couldn't think of his name for a second. So we could have both Brown and Smith back today, and Dallas Goedert could be the X factor. I don't know that the Ravens defense is going to do as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Saquon in addition to all those guys. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Mike.
I think as good as it looks for the Eagles to win this game, I just think Baltimore's going to win. And I think it's just – I think a big part of it is going to come out with how fast are the Eagles going to come out and how fast are the Ravens going to come out. And I've seen the Ravens come out fast this year. I've not really seen the Eagles come out fast. It always seems like it's a lumbering, slow, Titanic turn, that I think if that happens again tonight, they're going to get down early and then it's going to be too much to come back. The other Ravens are very suspect, and they do give up games, especially in the fourth quarter. We've seen it happen a couple of times, and that could happen tonight where once the ship does get going, they might get a chance to come back and pass them late. But I just think the Ravens right now got a lot more to play for. And I just think you're going to see Action Jackson just show why he should be MVP. And I know, Dre, you have your words about him and stuff, but, I just think that it's just going to be their game tonight. And it's not going to hurt the Eagles none in terms of playoff standing and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be the Ravens night or Ravens day, I guess you could say.
Well, this, like you said in the beginning, Mike, and I think on the clipboard for the Eagles, the box they have not checked off yet is to score early. Mm-hmm. They struggle all season, not scoring any points in the first quarter. They have to come out scoring quick. And from what I've seen in the past games with the Ravens, once the Ravens go behind, you see less and less of Derrick Henry. So, to me, Philadelphia has to really rely on the pass rush to get after Jackson. I see that it can happen, Sal, because I've seen teams actually put the quarterback spy on him, try to get him to go to the side he does not want to go to, and then make him overthrow his players. And that's what he's been doing for the last 4 or 5 games. He just overthrows the guys. So to me, it's like you want to stop him passing more than running. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. They're ranked 28th in the defense because of their secondary is one of the worst secondaries in the league. So Philadelphia, with their weapons that they have, I think they're going to actually have a field day in the air against the Ravens. But the Eagles defense got to put the pressure on them first and then hold them down, and then the Eagles can basically just go off in the air on them. You know, Saquon Barkley's going to do Saquon Barkley. I mean, they're ranked 1 and 2. You know, Derrick Henry and Saquon. So it's, you know, I think both teams are thinking their mindset. If we can establish the run, we're going to win the game. So I'm taking the Eagles on that, and I'm hard on Lamar because I know he can do better. Like I know he can do better, and to me, I still see inaccuracies with him that affects him for coming down to what he needs to do, like win the playoffs. They didn't win last year. They were a top team to go to the AFC Championship, and they got smoked coming right out of the bye week. And then the year before that, he did turnovers and stuff. And Lamar does do turnovers that affect him. So, like I said, Eagles pass rush, go after him and make him get mistakes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting today. Go ahead, Mike.
No. It's just going to say, you know, yeah, Lamar definitely, you know, has a lot to prove. You know, well, we have seen this before. We've seen that in the regular season, you know, Lamar, you know, does play pretty good, especially on a big stage. You know, is this in the playoffs? Even in the playoffs, I mean, last year that Chiefs loss, I mean, and they shouldn't have lost. They should have beat them. But, I mean, it was still close. I mean, there were a couple plays here or there that just went bust, in, you know, and they didn't stick to their game plan. I think, you know, I think one point you don't bring up, and that is Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens. You know, and sometimes when he gets into his kind of, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like a swoon a little bit, where he just kind of abandons the run or abandons what should their identity almost, you know. And so I'll be curious to see how his play calling does. The other thing you got to take consideration too is, you know, is your boy Nick going to have a coaching blunder? And is that going to be a difference? Because, you know,
that's true.
It could happen in a tight game. Well, Nick will just call something and you're just looking at it like, oh, it's 4th and 2. Let's do a tush push. And you're just kind of like, no, this says kick the field goal and take the points. And he'll do a tush push and then he'll get stopped. And then everyone will be like, what the hell is he thinking? So, you know, coaching, I think, will weigh in big on this game as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very physical game. I think it's definitely going to be a very physical game. I do think I kind of agree with some of the comments out here. I was saying I don't think it's a Saquon game. I agree with that. I think they have to do the opposite of what they've been doing and attack that Ravens secondary a little bit. I think you have opportunities with Goddard and AJ Brown to run wild, and Devontae Smith, if he's back, that's going to be a big difference because he can get deep and get open quick. So the question will be, how accurate is Hurts? If Hurts comes out and he's overthrowing people, then we got a problem. But if Hurts comes out and he's because Hurts has gotten bailed out. I mean, I'm not saying he's been awful, but he hasn't had to be that guy because of Saquon. Right. Yep. So today he might have to be that guy, and we're going to have to see because you know, they're going to come after Saquon. So let's see what happens. I think it's going to be really close. My heart says that the Eagles will probably pull this out, but I would not be surprised if Baltimore does. And then I think the Eagles, if they do lose this one, I think they do win out the remainder of the year. I think that this will be the last one, you know, that they're going to have a problem with the rest of the year. So,
Also, I think Baltimore is up there with the most penalties this season. You know, especially penalties they make holding problems and stuff like that. You know, a lot of penalties.
A lot of pass interference. Not too much grabby.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the Eagles' defense can overpower their offensive line. Yeah. And if they do that, they will win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say you brought up about Hurts, you know, having to throw the ball. So when the win streak started is when they actually started calling a lot more run plays. I mean, the Eagles lead the league in run plays. And so they've taken a lot out of Jalen Hurts' hands. And then because they run the ball so much and been effective with it, when they do throw it, it's off of play action, things like that. So, you know, you got a lot more opportunity to get guys open. The windows aren't as tight because you got that Saquon, you know, effect. If the Ravens are able to make this into a passing game on Jalen, it is going to be interesting to see how well he does having to make it, you know. And the Ravens secondary is pretty garbage, but you know, they can make plays at times. And Jalen, there's a little bit of a book out in him about, you know, if you can force him to run to his left and make him throw it, you know, what can happen. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of defense the Ravens come up with. You know, Zach Orr's got his work cut out for sure, trying to slow down the Eagles' offense. And we'll go from there. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
This. Uh-oh.
Oh, now he cut out.
There's a tease. He's teasing us now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Jermaine, what's up, buddy?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
man.
What's
All
up?
right.
Morning.
Yeah.
Hey,
Welcome.
Yeah, man.
thank you.
We got a lot of comments here coming in. So we forget Hurts can throw it. That is true. Or we forget Hurts can throw it. I was gonna say we forget Hurts can run it. I think that I don't know if Hurts is not an accurate thrower this year, and that's gonna be a big portion in the game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be a close one today, guys. And I know I'll just say it for KD. Yes, KD, I am picking the Eagles, but just so we have it and we're good to go there.
Hef brought up a good point here, Tucker, because the NFL has Eagles by 3.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and Tucker has been messing up. So has been Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna say both kickers.
I don't want the game to come down. I don't want the game to come down to a field goal. I want the Eagles to actually have a good, comfortable lead where Ravens have to play catch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with that. Maybe this will be a Dotson game here, Hef. Or Britton Covey, Jermaine. Maybe it's a Covey game because that Ravens secondary. Jermaine, who you got in this one? Eagles?
Yeah, I already predicted it. I think Baltimore is going to pull it because they haven't seen a scrambling quarterback like Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping they can. They got a good game plan today. But yeah, I'm having Baltimore because I looked at the schedule and I said they're going to split between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. So I'm thinking that they're going to win. They're going to lose today and then beat Pittsburgh the following week. So.
Right.
I'm saying the other way around, honestly. I think we're going to lose to Pittsburgh. I do.
Well,
yeah.
It could be. It could be. All right. Let's keep moving here. The other game, guys, this will be Hef's game, the Hef Bowl, Tennessee at Washington. What's going on with Tennessee and Washington? Let's start with Andre on this one.
I'm going to take Washington. I think Washington is having a great season, honestly, and I just don't see Tennessee beating them, especially with the. Is Robinson out? I can't remember. He got hurt. Is he back?
He's in. He's in. Eckler's out.
He's in?
Eckler's out. Okay.
Eckler's on IR. Yeah.
I knew Eckler was on IR, but I couldn't remember if Robinson was still, I guess you say hurt, or injured, whatever.
He's got no designation today.
No designation today. Well, I think they can establish the run and get the ball to Terry, the wide receivers, and Daniels just gotta calm down, and get all his progressions. And I think Washington can beat out Tennessee.
I like Hef's comment.
We smacked Tennessee today. Okay.
Yeah, Dotson can't catch crabs in a whorehouse. For the Eagles. Going back to Pimp, Jermaine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We got to have some Pimp's picks this week.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I should have called him and find out what his picks were, recorded.
Yeah, I agree with that, Hef.
All right, let's get to Mike for this one. Mike, Tennessee, or what do we got?
Man, it's a tough one because I actually think Tennessee, kind of showed me something. I mean, they've had some flashes this year. Will Levis is notoriously known for throwing a bad pick six or interception in games, but I don't know. Tennessee has been scrappy, and I just had the suspicion that they're going to win today. I don't know, something with Washington. It's almost like watching the Bears a little bit, where you have a critical play that just kind of zaps some of the mojo or positive energy from a team. And that Eagles game, they lost to the Steelers, and that was it is what it was. But when they lost that Eagles game and that fourth down play where they went for it, where they should have kicked the field goal, and it just feels like after that moment something happened with the team where they just, I don't know, they're not feeling it no more. Like the good feelings are gone. I'm not sure it gets turned around today. I just have this feeling that, Washington's going to lose this one. Not badly, but just they're going to lose. I mean, growing pains. They're not a bad team. Just I think Tennessee's going to give them a lot of fight, and I think they're going to find a way to pull it out.
Damn right. I was in Arrested Development. Come on, man. I was the founding member. Jermaine, who you like in this one? You got what? Tennessee? Is it?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mike 100%. I mean, he took all the words right out of my mouth. There's something that's not right ever since that Philadelphia game. Just like last year with Philly when San Fran came in. Something's not right there. I mean, Daniels, hitting that rookie wall. I don't know. I mean, that swagger that they had in the first, the games that they was winning, they're hitting that wall or whatever was going on. They're hitting it at the wrong time. You're 7-5. Now you're in the hunt and everything for a playoff thing. I totally agree. I mean, Mike took the words right out of my mouth with this game. I got Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's all about momentum right now, and I don't feel that that's on Washington's side. So I know I agree with Mike. It's the Will Levis effect. I know, but I think the Tennessee will have enough today. I think Pollard is going to be, that guy's like still hanging on, and he's still been effective if you look at the numbers. So if they can control the ball today and keep Daniels kind of, bottled up like he's been the last couple of weeks until like the last minute or whatever, when he throws an 85-yard bomb or a Hail Mary, if they can avoid that, I think Tennessee wins this one today. Sorry. I know Hef wants to wager here.
I'm looking at coffee bet coming.
Yeah.
I'm looking at numbers too. I mean, Tennessee's 30th in passing and 28th in overall offense. I mean, it's a 7-game, 6+ or minus spread. I don't see them losing, but even though that Daniels is having struggle, I think they're better than Tennessee can produce.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee is better than the Texans, but it's all happened there,
Well, I know any given Sunday. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
But they are better. They are better, Dre. But for some reason, man, that Philadelphia knocked something like knocked that energy out or whatever, and they, now they're all trying to gather up and trying to figure this thing out again. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it. They are better. They are a better team, but I don't think this week it's not going to be their week.
Okay.
Yeah. Hef thinks Dre's smart. We'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Guys, the Chargers, they lost Dobbins. They play Atlanta today in Atlanta. Justin Herbert is going to be a lot on his shoulders with that extra running game kind of not helping him out as much as it's been able to in the past. Now, he's going to be back, obviously, in time for the playoffs, Dobbins, but we'll see what happens today. We'll start with Dre. Who you like in this one between the Chargers and your boy, Kirk Cousins in Atlanta?
Kirk Cousins, man. I got Atlanta. I think Atlanta can beat them. Last week with the Chargers, was last week or week before they played the Rams?
Yeah.
Is that the game I saw? Because there was flashes there where Chargers were dominating, and then they messed up and like they just totally folded. And I think Atlanta can.
Well, the Ravens.
Was it the Ravens?
Yeah, the Ravens game. The Chargers.
The Ravens Chargers
them early.
Yeah, early.
Eventually the Ravens kind of got it together.
And that's what I think. I think Atlanta's going to do that to them. I think Atlanta's going to beat them out by a field goal. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout, but by a field goal.
All right, Mike.
Chargers. Kai convinced me. I've talked to him about this. And look, he's telling me even Dobbins out. He said a big part of the running game actually this year has been Justin Herbert. So as long as he stays healthy, you're probably going to see him scramble a lot. But they are struggling receivers. I mean, I watched that Ravens game. Your boy Rager had passed him right in the face, because he can't catch. And then Quentin Johnson was just as bad, alligator arming, letting the ball hit his chest. So I mean, it is bad with their receivers. But Atlanta don't know who they want to be. Denver beat the mess out of them. They have a couple other games where you're just like, a team with Kirk Cousins and Bijan Robinson and what's the receiver, the tight end that never shows up. I can't think of his name right now, but Dre know who he is.
Kyle Pitt.
Kyle Pitt, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I never hear his name anymore, but he's, it just that team should be so much better than what they are. And yet here they are on the verge of possibly losing the division to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay lost some of their best weapons, and yet they're still, in in the mix. I don't know what it is with Atlanta, and I think they're not going to figure it out today. And so I think the Chargers are going to beat them.
All right, Jermaine, who you got? You're down in Atlanta.
I want to go before Mike because Mike did it again. As far as Thunder, man. I mean, everything he said was on my mind. So, you don't know what's going on with Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta started off strong. Yeah, now they're on the verge of just collapsing. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Especially with Kirk Cousins, and like Mike said, all that talent that you have on that team, and where the heck is Kyle Pitts? So I'm definitely taking the Chargers with this. I feel as though they're a better seasoned team than Atlanta's. And I'll take Herbert over Cousins anytime. So I got the Chargers.
Yeah, this one's interesting, guys, only because Kirk Cousins obviously has not been himself, right? You've seen a regression. He's slow. They're really starting to tee off on him a little bit because he's just not mobile. And I think that's been a big part of it, his lack of mobility.
I think that Achilles is bothering him, Sal. I think that Achilles is still bothering him,
I agree.
Yeah, with that mobility and stuff. But you're right.
Yeah. And what they're doing is they're teeing up on Robinson. Hef's guy London, who was my guy on the fantasy team until I traded him to Hef. He's been hit or miss. He's been open. Again, Kurt struggled to kind of get his footing and get him the ball as much as they had hoped. Will it happen today? We'll see. They got Morey too. But the Chargers defense is good. I think they shut them down today. Their offense, I think, is going to be too much even without Dobbins. So I like the Chargers today in this one as well. I could, again, my history with the Chargers, guys.
Yeah, exactly right.
In 2 seconds,
no more than once.
in 2 seconds, move on, because what I saw when Dobbins went out, their game plan was just deflated. Like the helium was out of the balloon. Gus Edwards is not the guy to help them, because they all built on running. Once Dobbins went out, that's why I felt like the Chargers didn't have anything.
Yeah, you're not on with the Gus bus? Come on, man.
Yeah, the Gus bus. Yeah.
All right. I don't even know if I care about this game, but Mikey picked it, so whatever. Arizona at Minnesota. God, why? Jermaine, go first on this one before Mike takes your thunder.
Like you said, I don't know why we're doing this game. I'll pass. I'll flip a coin to just say, I'll take Arizona.
All right, Arizona. Dre, who you got?
I'm taking Minnesota. I'm just looking at they're 9-2. They're a threat. Well, actually, I should take it all the way around. I should take Arizona because they're a threat for the Eagles in the NFC seed rankings. So, but Minnesota will beat Arizona. I do like O'Connor, and we'll see more Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think Minnesota's going to win this because they're home too. So,
James Conner could be the difference. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Conner got an extension. Good for him. He is a good hard running back. But they are going against the best run defense in the league, one of the best run defenses in Minnesota.
Yep.
So I think Minnesota is just going to be too much for them. So the reason I picked this game because, I mean, a lot of the games this week all have some sort of playoff implications in some way. I mean, Minnesota right now is in the run-in with Green Bay. In Detroit is only like a game ahead, I think, of both of those two teams. So there's still a lot of, things in flux for that whole NFC North. Surprisingly, they're all really good teams except for the Bears. And then Arizona is in their own little mix, with the West, which is a dumpster fire because all the teams are bad, but still someone's got to win it. So it's a critical game for both teams. I mean, I thought Kyler Murray had turned the corner a little bit, but then
I did too.
I saw the last game they had, and I was like, "Oh no, he hasn't turned the corner." I mean, he's just maybe bent a little bit around the corner, but he ain't turned it. So it's still the same Cardinals, and Sam Darnold's still looking pretty good with that Vikings. So yeah, I got the Vikings.
I think you got Sam Donald crush. You're seeing ghosts. I think that's what it is, and that's why you picked this game.
Could have used them last week as our backup. Kyle Allen might have had a chance against the Green Bay Packers, but they got rid of him.
Yeah,
they got rid of him.
I think Daniel Jones comes in this game and no, never mind. Anyway.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Daniel Jones comes in and wins it this week. Now, this is an interesting one. It's at Minnesota. I do like Minnesota. They are finally using both wide receivers. So finally, the Justin Jefferson is not the only one getting the targets. They're finally utilizing both sides now. So
yeah,
I like Minnesota in this one. I do think they pull it out. I think their defense does hold up the run. We'll see if it can hold up the pass with Harrison. So yeah, Dre, your boy Harrison Jr. could have a big game against that Vikings pass defense, which is struggle, but I don't think it's going to be enough in the end. I do think that Minnesota pulls this one out.
Cool.
Can you imagine if Daniel Jones got in the game? It has to look really, really good.
I know, right?
The Giants GM would probably drink himself to death. I mean, watching Saquon Barkley go out and do well, and some of the other mistakes that they've made, and then guys leave and go and flourish. I mean, that's just, oh my God.
I think Jones is on the practice squad, though, right? I don't think they activated him, or is he? I thought he was on the practice squad.
Maybe,
okay.
Yeah. But
yeah,
as a coach,
they're going to quarterback
to be him. Kevin
yeah.
O'Connell seems to be do pretty good with taking quarterbacks and making them play pretty good. I mean, Astronaut did good last year when Kirk got hurt. Of course, Sam Darnold, his career is like revitalized now. So yeah, maybe he could fix Danny Dimes.
You need an exorcist for that. Come on. Yeah. You need an old priest and a new priest. Yeah. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, guys. Again, what do you think, Pittsburgh? What do you think of Cincinnati? Burrow can light it up. Jermaine's coming at me with him today. Jermaine, Pittsburgh. What do you think, man? Pittsburgh is Cincy.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is the better team today. I don't. I said here we go with another team. I mean, Cincinnati. Yep. I mean, yes, they always start off slow. And then they bring it on strong. But I think it's just too late for them now. I think it's too late. They're saying that the coach is on the hot seat and stuff. I'm assuming that, especially if they don't make the playoffs, then he's on the hot seat. I mean, he's going to get fired. So, yeah, I'm sticking with Pittsburgh today for the win. So,
all right, good stuff, Dre.
Yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh as well. It was a nasty taste in their mouths losing the divisional game against Cleveland. So, they got to beat Cincinnati. Hands down. I like TJ. No, is it JJ? Which one is it? I can't get the brothers mixed up.
For who?
TJ or JJ?
TJ.
Yeah,
you talking Hoosh Mazada? Come on.
No. Hoosh Mazada, Palmer. Yeah, I'll just keep going back. No, I like Pittsburgh, man. I think the Bengals are done, honestly. So Pittsburgh can't lose 2 divisional games in a row.
All right, Mike. What do you think?
Look, there's a fine line between making wine and squishing grapes, but I don't really know what the hell that means. But but Mike Tomlin said it, so it must mean something. But I think the Bengals are going to beat them. I think actually they might beat them pretty badly. Like not like
pretty badly
what the Lions have been doing, but just convincing. And the Bengals defense has been bad this year, but their offense is high powered. They really get going, especially when T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are around. And I just think that Pittsburgh, still seems like I don't know how to say it. They're like wishing for points. It's kind of like watching Russell Wilson back there, and I keep feeling like, man, that guy. It's almost like lucky how he's getting Pickens the ball or how they're making points. I just feel like they're too reliant on their defense. They're not going to have enough firepower. And I think the Bengals offense is just going to score points early, and it's just going to make it tough for Pittsburgh.
All right. This one, I'm going to go the opposite way, guys. I like Cincinnati in this one. I think Brown's going to have a big day. For the Bengals, I think T. Higgins, you're exactly right, Mike. I think they're going to be overpowering too much. I think it's too high powered of an offense, and I don't think that Pittsburgh can handle and match those type of points with Russell Wilson, a quarterback. Jermaine might disagree because I know that's his boy, but I don't think Russ has a big day today. Sorry, Jermaine. So we'll see what happens in that one. All right. So with that being said, lots of good games today, guys. Obviously, the 4 o'clock one's the big one, unless you want to watch the Snow Bowl with the 49ers. Are they 1 o'clock today, Mike? Or are they 4?
No, they're a night game.
They're a night game.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Even colder.
I'm not watching that.
Even colder. All right, Dre, I think I gotta allow me to share here. I'm gonna kick this in here, share a tab. We're gonna bring up the big board here. All right, let me know if you can see it. I am sharing. All right, we all good? There we go. All right, you guys got it. Cool. All right, so I put this board together really quickly. We got 4 categories, guys. We're gonna put these teams in the right ones. We got cream of the crop. They rise to the top. All right, you know that song. We got the contenders, we got the pretenders, and then we got forget about it. So let's start with the forget about it. All right, unless you guys disagree with me, let's just do the easy ones first here.
Giants.
Yep.
Will you please grab that star?
Hefty kill me on that one. Anybody else in the forget about it? Do we want to put Dallas in there, or are they pretenders?
Man, they're
No, I say forget about it.
You want to
I
put
don't
Dallas
see
in
them.
forget about it? All
Yeah,
right.
Raiders, you got to put in there. Yeah,
please.
Cato's right, because the Raiders are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Yeah, so they're out.
All right, so let me get the Raiders in there.
Yeah,
Where
Raiders
are they? Am
for
I
sure.
missing them?
right there. Right
Where
next to
am
the
I?
Eagles.
Next to the Eagles.
Left to the Eagles.
Yeah, there we go. All right, I couldn't see him for a second.
I put the Patriots in there. I don't think they're going anywhere this year.
Ooh,
I agree.
Patriots.
I agree with the Patriots.
All right.
And
So it
then
looks like
I think the Bears too. I mean, it's fired their coach. I mean, they're not going nowhere. I think the Bears.
the Bears are who we thought they were.
All kidding aside with Dallas, I mean, they're 5-7, and with that NFC,
Yeah.
with that NFC period, man, you don't be surprised. You know what I mean? Don't be surprised they sneak in there somehow. They're 5-7, and you look at the schedule and all that stuff. They could make a run. I mean, but obviously it's still the Dallas Cowboys. So.
Yeah, they're kind of on that pretender thing, but we'll keep them there for now. We'll keep them there for now, and we'll go from there. Pretenders, guys. I'll do the first one.
Yeah, Miami.
I don't know if you guys got any others for pretenders in here.
Seattle.
I'm torn between the Jags being out of it and being that'll be after tonight. You can put them down there. I won't say yet till it's over. Fully over.
Oh shoot! Sorry guys, we forgot about New Orleans. I mean,
New Orleans is still in the mix.
No.
I mean, New Orleans is still. I mean, they're only 2 games back from Atlanta. That's what I'm saying. Atlanta is really letting things slip.
So you think Atlanta's pretender?
Yeah, I think so. I would say Jags are 2-9. I think Kate was right about the Jags. I think they're out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jags. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put the Jags in the bottom.
And put the Jags in the bottom. Okay, hold on.
I think they're going to be a team that'll beat some teams just to make it ugly, but they're not going nowhere.
All right, so we got the pretenders so far. Only Miami and the pretenders. I'm going to argue
Seattle,
guys. Yeah, I think Seattle's probably.
Seattle's a pretenders, honestly.
The Sea Chickens.
Yeah,
you always have to put the whole NFC West either in pretender or contender status because that whole. Right now the Sea Chickens are the best team in the West, so they're going to get into the playoffs just based on the winning the division.
Well, I think we got to clarify here. Are we talking about getting into the playoffs, or do we think the team just isn't that good and they're fake?
Okay. In that sense, all right, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I put the whole NFC West in pretender. Every team.
Yeah, I'm looking at the teams, not necessarily if they're going to make the playoffs, guys.
All right, every team, yeah.
So with that being said, I think they're definitely in there. Seattle's in there. I think the Falcons, no.
Let's see what they do today. If they're contender-ish. Put the Cardinals in pretender.
Yeah, Cardinals are in pretender.
Rams too.
Oh, he's going after the Rams.
Where's Tampa?
And Niners.
What about Tampa?
Niners too.
Niners too. Oh
yeah.
shoot! All
Yeah,
right,
the whole West is pretenders.
All right. So this is what we got so far. All right, let's see who's left here. The Broncos, are they pretenders? I don't know. They got a good quarterback.
Contenders. I think they're contenders. They've been fighting. I
Mm.
don't know. They're in the mix. I personally think they should be contenders. Oh yeah, put the Titans also. I think at the bottom.
Yeah, I was gonna say Titans or forget about it. I would argue these guys are pretenders. Tampa?
No. I think Tampa's man.
Really?
Yeah, Baker is playing good, man. That team. I like what Tampa Bay is doing, man. If they had just a little bit more defense, I think they would be a very, very tough team. That Baker's lighting it up. I've seen some really good play calling from Liam, the OC. They've done some good stuff, man. I gotta put them in contender personally.
Yeah, Dre, go ahead with the feedback because I can't see because I'm sharing my screen. So go ahead with the feedback if you got some.
Well, I have to keep Jermaine muted.
Okay.
He wants to talk, so
Go ahead.
Tell you.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. I'm good.
Okay. What about the Colts guys? They're pretenders, right?
Yeah,
I
think so.
Colts are pretenders. That leaves New Orleans. Why do we have them? They should be forget about it, right? The Saints?
I can't say that yet. I think they're still a pretender category myself. Just because of the way that division is shaking up, that no one's run away with it yet. I would put them pretender until maybe after today.
All right. So I think New Orleans is a pretender. I think the Falcons probably are too, whether it's today or not. I just don't think they're going to have enough. You know what Kirk Cousins does in the playoffs, but I'll put him here for now. We can always move him.
Yeah.
But I think they're pretty much out of it. All right.
Let me start controversy. Where we put in Washington, because I think it's pretender.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I would agree with that. Dre and Jermaine, what do you think?
Well, they're on a bubble of getting into, they're 7th seed. So they have to basically win out. They have to win out to get into a wild card spot. So I don't know. I don't think they're pretenders. I don't think so.
All right. Well, we can adjust. Let's leave them there for a minute. Then we got the contenders, guys. Well, maybe easier. Let's start with the cream of the crop. So, because that might be easier and everybody else can kind of fall in. So the cream of the crop, obviously Buffalo. Anybody disagree with that?
I don't.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I am going to tell you who I'm going to disagree with.
Okay. Do I dare?
Eagles. Put the Eagles cream of the crop.
Detroit, Kansas City,
Okay. So Eagles, I got to just get some of these up here. In fact, here, let me just move these out a quick second just so I can get a couple of these guys up here. So KC is in here, Eagles are in here, and then I'll zoom in 1 second. Who else we got? We got Detroit obviously is in here. Bengals, yeah, right. Anybody else? Baltimore?
Ravens, yeah. I think so.
Oh, we got a controversy.
Not cream of the crop.
Oh my God.
They're a contender.
All right.
Oh.
But that's my opinion.
Jermaine, Ravens cream of the crop?
Hold on.
Yeah, Ravens cream of the crop. Ravens cream of the crop. Yep.
Man, you guys are so brainwashed.
Man.
How can it be cream of the crop if they lost last year to I'm going to the AFC Championship? They had nothing changed except for
this year.
I know, but nothing has changed but Derrick Henry, and they're a wild card team right now. If they're supposed to be cream of the top, they need to be a division leader, a high seed. They're not. So I don't see them being cream of the crop. They're a contender.
He's calling you out, Jermaine.
No, I'm calling everybody out. I'm just telling my opinion. I just don't see.
It's a difference. It's a difference from last year to this year. Look what's going on. Derrick Henry has made Lamar Jackson a better player.
He did. He did. But
yeah. So, the only thing that you have, Dre, is the secondary. The secondary is horrible, and I totally agree with you. But everything else is fine in line. Everything else is falling in line. So, yeah, they're in a wild card spot right now, but I feel as though, at the end of the season, before the end of the season, they're going to make a run. And I think it's probably going to start with today. It's gonna start today with Philly.
Okay.
All right. Here, let me just kind of drag some of these guys in here right now. These guys would all be contenders, and we can always slide people around. So this would be it. So let me just bump these guys
I think
in.
the Bengals
Tampa.
I don't know how they can. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how we can consider them contenders when they're really not.
I agree with you on that, Mike. But Tampa is also in the bubble. As a contender.
think Tampa is a contender. I really do. I don't think no one wants to play them if they get in the playoffs.
Well, move Pittsburgh up as a cream of the crop.
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God!
No.
The Ravens and the Pittsburgh switch.
I love
No.
you know, Steelers is like my second team, man. But I'm sorry, my eyes. I've seen things, man, with Pittsburgh. I just can't trust them.
No.
The call them cream of the crop. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Man.
Jermaine said, "Why Tampa Bay a contender?"
I agree. I don't think Tampa Bay is.
agree.
I think they're a pretender. I'm ready to slide them down.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
right, y'all can do it. You'll see.
But looking at this chart, I can
Rusty
see
Baker.
I can see who the frauds are. Okay, there's some frauds in
Like who?
Baltimore. It's not a cream of the crop. I'm going to also say, I'm liking Denver. I don't know, man. Denver, Bo Nix. You guys can't say they're cream of the crop. Denver?
No.
That defense is no.
Their defense is good. I don't know if it's cream of the crop. So
Houston is a contender. Yeah. Bengals contender? No.
No, Bengals got to come down.
They got to come down. The Bengals gotta come down.
They're really out of it. I kind of think they're out of it, but you can play pretender because they probably will beat some teams.
I guess you have to put Seattle up in contender then.
Sea Chickens?
Yeah.
No.
I think they're all pretenders because no matter who wins that division, they're gonna be bounced out the playoffs. Right out the bat.
Jermaine believes the Texans are on the bubble.
Texans are probably on the bubble from a contender to a pretender. Yeah, just because Stroud is not. Yeah, so I'll put them kind of like in the middle here. So
put Baltimore in the middle.
There
you go.
Sour Baltimore. Jeez.
I'm telling you,
man. Well, then
KC could be somewhere in the middle. I mean, they've been sitting there escaping. You know, some days I don't know if they're cream of the crop. I mean,
who? I'm sorry. What's team?
KC.
Oh,
KC.
If we're going to put teams in the middle, if we got to stick them in the category, I leave them cream of the crop because of the Mahomes factor. But
KC has been Houdini. You're right. Move KC down, like Jermaine said. Move him down. Move him to contender, I guess, is what Jermaine
you want them all the way down? Man. No. I don't know if I put them all the way down, but I think they're better than Green Bay. Well, I don't know. Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay is pretty good, man. I was tempted to move them up.
I say Green Bay, cream of the crop. What are you doing?
I don't trust Hurts.
What are you doing?
I don't trust Hurts.
What are you doing? Put that bird back up there, please.
I don't know, guys. I don't trust Hurts yet.
Yeah, put KC back. They put the Ravens. Let's not put them in the middle. Let's put them in the category. We just have to, you're one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, we could get crazy.
Stop Howie Jr. Stop Howie Jr.
Who said that?
Jermaine. Look, once you get this together, take a snapshot, and then I'll put the X over when it happens and tell you I'm right on which teams.
We'll see. This is saved automatically, so it's saved automatically. All right, so here we go. Just a quick review. Cream of the crop. We got Buffalo, Eagles, Lions, KC, and Baltimore. Contenders, we got the Broncos, Vikings, Green Bay, Bolts, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Texas. Sorry.
Look at all the pretenders.
Texans.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretenders.
I disagree with Tampa Bay, but we'll see. They're gonna.
No, Tampa Bay's jump.
I'll tell you.
Baker, so get out of here with Baker. Come on.
Look, 14 teams got to get into the playoffs. So we're right now. We got how many teams? that are on
Nah.
the top two halves, like 10
They're
teams?
trash. Baker's trash. The defense is trash. Get out
Oh
of
my
here.
God, you'll see. I'm telling you.
They
Yeah.
are on the bubble though, Mike. Tampa's on the bubble.
So we got
I'm not giving up on these guys yet. I think
We
they're
got
better
11.
than the
no.
Yeah, but they
and-
can't go nowhere. I mean,
Stop it, Mike.
They're physically out of it.
Jermaine said, "Stop it with Tampa Bay, Mike."
yeah.
I'll tell you. Look, I'm just saying, don't let them get to play. Sal, stop doing it.
They got to come up, man. I got trigger
Yo,
finger.
Need another category called spoiler. You can put the Bengals in the spoiler category.
fake
'cause they'll probably
category.
There'll be some teams just because, but they're not going nowhere. They ain't contending for nothing except a draft pick.
Stop it.
You know, put them up
Stop
top. But y'all will see with Tampa Bay. I'm telling
No,
you.
Tampa
Y'all
all I
gonna
gotta
see,
say.
y'all gonna see what happens to the Ravens. I'm telling you, they're going down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think honestly, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think we're actually pretty solid here. I think the only question marks we have are the Bucks and the Bengals. Maybe I think those are the only.
I mean, you got to look at if they're going to go anywhere from a playoff perspective. I mean, right now you're certain the Bills will get in, you're certain the Eagles will get in, certain Lions. All the teams at the top we're pretty certain are going to get in the playoffs. The second row, yeah, I think other than Green Bay and the Vikings have a chance of not getting in. But yeah, it's just pretenders. And then looking at the pretenders, I mean, someone from the West has to get in. That's why I think Tampa's going to win that division. I think they're more of a contender than the Falcons. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we're short on teams that are going to get in the playoffs. So there's some pretenders that are going to get in and do something.
Jermaine said, "Watch it with Philly." I'm not 100%.
I agree. That's why I want to move him down. I don't trust Hurts yet. That's why.
man.
I
We lost 2
disagree.
games.
I disagree.
We lost 2 games.
But look who they beat. Look who they beat. I mean,
Look who
come on.
Kansas City beat. I mean,
I mean,
Eagles
all the
had an
teams-
easier
Kansas
schedule.
all the
than
teams
them.
at the
Kansas City
top
games.
had-
Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I say all the teams at the top have had bonehead games. The Bills. Probably been maybe the most. They haven't even been the most consistent. In the Ravens, they lost to the Browns and the Raiders. So, they got their flaws. And the Chiefs have been.
And it's not Detroit's fault that they've been not playing really.
Yeah,
Really
Detroit
high
bad teams.
power teams. So
Yeah.
I say keep it where it is. That's just my
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean the Lions beat some. They beat teams you're supposed to beat. Mike Tyson said they're on tomato cans.
The man said 10-1 and folded. So
Yeah, I know. I don't trust Hurts yet. That's the only reason why I'm on the fence about them. But we'll find out today. We'll find
What do you
out
mean
today.
your remaining schedule? I mean, the Eagles got 5 home games the rest of the season? Something like some crazy thing. They don't travel. The farthest they travel is like an hour away.
We're
Yeah,
talking the
well,
playoffs. I'm talking
once Pittsburgh,
yeah.
it's our Cowboys in Washington and New York. That's it. So,
yeah, I
Even
mean,
in the playoffs, right? They're gonna host at least one home game that'll probably be against the winner of the NFC, a wild card team from. Well, I don't know. That could be a wild card team from the North. That could be a challenge. Never mind.
yeah,
So-
I mean that's
so-
what I mean. It's not a given. If they come in and Green Bay has to come here, it's not a given.
Yeah. That's not
well,
gonna be fun.
if you're going to
They gotta win.
To me, if you're going to put the Eagles as contender, you got to move Seattle up to contender as well. They're number 3 seed behind the Eagles. So
Yeah, but their team is come on, James
No,
Winston.
I can't put them because they're gonna pretend like the Texans. I think
James Winston. I'm not
because
talking about
they're not
I'm not
gonna
talking
win.
about James Winston. That's Browns, man. I'm talking about
Oh, sorry. I mean, not Winston.
Gino.
Sorry, I meant Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
No, it just
but they're the 3rd seed, right behind
yeah.
the Eagles.
But like you
Well,
said, they can
if
get in
you
the
guys want
playoffs,
to-
but they're not gonna go nowhere. They're gonna
Then
lose.
if you guys
the
want
first
to,
game.
then move Eagles to contender and Seattle to contender.
No, I think it's good where it's at.
Okay.
I think the Eagles got a good chance of having home field throughout the playoffs. If the Lions stumble, and they're neck and neck again, I think the Eagles could get a home field and then they get that bye. And then, I think the worst thing that could happen right now, the Eagles get the 2nd seed. Because I think the 2nd seed, you just get some of the toughest teams to play against. You always get that scrappy team that got in from, the wild card and they're hungry to upset you. And then the second game usually is a tougher team because you get the 3rd seed versus the 4th seed. So that's going to be the toughest thing for the Eagles is, they got to get home field throughout. I think it'll benefit them a lot.
Well, and that's the thing. They lose today. I mean, you got to hope that the Lions go down in the stretch, which they could because they got some division games. They could. But I don't know. I just don't trust Jalen yet. I'm not sold on him yet.
That's why you got Saquon. So you don't have to always trust Jalen.
Well, if Saquon, hopefully he can stay healthy, so we'll see. So,
F says the Texans are pretenders.
Yeah, I think so too.
KD says, okay, he's like, look who the Lions beat. Caps.
I think the Texans are pretenders. I think right now the Texans are going into the playoffs. They're going to win that division by default, but they're going to go in the playoffs and play some team that's going to come up probably, they'll be the 4 seed probably, and they'll have to play the 7 seed. I mean, it'll probably be something like the Chargers or one of those scrappy teams that'll probably come in and just smash them in the face and beat them. So, yeah, I think they're pretenders.
And they can't protect the quarterback. So, am I sliding him down? Jermaine, what do you think?
Let's see if he writes.
Should I slide the content? Should I slide Houston down?
Wait, Jermaine, I'm going to put you on. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks so far so good. I mean, yeah, it seemed like you handed them out. I just don't like Philly. I don't like Philly as the cream of the crop. So you definitely got to keep them as a contender until they prove something. And then KC has got to get out of there. Come on. I mean, KC, all this rabbit foot and all that stuff. Come on, man. Then put them down there contender.
Let me debate with you. If you said that they haven't proved anything, what does the Ravens prove with a 7-5 record?
Huh?
What did the Ravens prove then? What did they
prove? I mean, Dre, you're going back to the secondary. I mean, nothing else is going on. Okay, yeah, they're 7-4 and everything. I feel as though they're going to win the division, but you're not saying anything else. See how you're not saying anything about Lamar? Lamar is throwing 30 touchdowns plus 3 interceptions. You know what I mean? So he's taking care of the ball. So I would say, if you could give me another fact,
that's true.
Besides the secondary,
that's true.
Maybe I'll be on board.
Right, that's true what you said with Lamar. But one thing that's hurting him is the third downs. He can't complete on third downs to get first downs. Once they play behind and stuff, or he overthrows the players, the receivers and stuff, or he tries to scramble, what he does, he turn the ball over. If it's 3-1, which it sounds like to me, then move the Eagles down to contenders, because it seems like
I said the Eagles can stay there. I said in the crowd. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, you've seen
proof's in the pudding. Proof's not in the pudding with the Ravens.
Well, proof is not in the pudding with the Eagles. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You fall apart at 10-1. My thing is, this thing can go way south if they don't revolve around Saquon Barkley, around the offense around Saquon Barkley. This could get ugly. You know what I mean? Or Sal, like you said, God forbid if Saquon gets hurt and he's out for multiple weeks. Oh my God, you can forget it. You putting that on Jalen, you can forget it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm putting them down as a contender until I see how they finish strong and how they keep winning and everything. It remains to be seen. That's all. That's just my opinion.
It's tough. It's tough.
No, it's definitely. Yeah, I'm aboard with half of it.
We're definitely gonna have to come back to this.
That's what I'm saying, man. Screenshot or look back at our.
I'll share. I'll put your emails in here, guys. I'll share it with you. So
God, you know what? Now it's making me more hyped. I hope I'm about to cut this.
I just want to see Lamar go down.
I hope we beat the F out of Ravens today. I really do.
Oh my God.
I really do.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope they do.
Snot out of them and make them turn the ball over.
They do beat Philly.
Make sure to take off your glasses and open your eyes and see that the Ravens are bullshit. Serious, man.
I'm hoping too, man.
Oh, well, let us know what you think, everybody. We're about to wrap this up. The big board causing some controversy.
I love it.
We'll share it out. We'll share it out, and we'll see what happens. Hey, if you got some comments, as always, this is Now Said Podcast. We're on every Sunday, 11 a.m. You can always email us, especially Jermaine at enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. All your complaints go to Jermaine. YouTube channel, Enough Said Podcast.
Wow.
You can subscribe us on that. And let's see what happens. We're going to come back to the big board, guys. I will bring that up again.
Bring it up next week, next Sunday.
We'll bring it up next Sunday, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if we're going to move everybody. That'll be really interesting. Everybody's sounding off here, man. Big board caused a lot of controversy, man. From KD to
preach straight.
Ravens haters, I swear. Oh my god.
Shout out to the All Dressed Up podcast who always just joined us today. We appreciate them. I'm not sure if they're going to be on tonight. I think it depends if KD has his voice back. We'll see what happens, if they're going to skip a week or they're going to be back tonight. I'm not sure, but check them out. They will go live if they do at 9:00. So, hopefully check them out. Also check out the Climbback series from Hef Streams Media. Climbback series, great show. Who knows? Maybe the Eagles will need that next week after the loss to the Ravens, and we'll see what happens. So have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the games, and we appreciate all of our followers and listeners. Take it easy.
Go Eagles.